Hello YouTube. I thought I would jump on the bandwagon and do a tag video for a change. So I have the questions up for the It Can't Be Books tag, which that is a fun little tag. Now, I have an advantage over some people in that my channel is not strictly just about books, though it is the thing I talk about the most. Which means that you can almost certainly guess what my first answer is going to be, but I'm going to go over and answer the questions anyway, and hopefully we'll have a bit of fun. So, here we go. Question 1. What is something you own way too many of other than books? And unsurprisingly, you can already see a stack of them here. I have video games. Now, I own so many video games. I actually own more video games than I do books. I own literally hundreds and hundreds of video games. And I don't have most of them with me. I don't even have most of them in the house with me. A lot of them are still at my parents' because they have storage space. So, yeah. And if I include digital games, it more than doubles. Even though I don't much like digital distribution. The thing is, I'm not going to talk specifically video games. I'm going to talk platformers. Because, as you may be aware, I'm a massive fan of platformers. So I have, for example, here, I've got Shantae. I have Sonic Mania, Mega Man 11, I have Alex Kidd, which is a new remake that I'm really enjoying, and one of my all-time favourites, Hollow Knight. I also have 3D platformers as well, such as the Crash Bandicoot collection and new Super Lucky's Tale, which I just recently, yesterday, got the Platinum Trophy for. So I'm quite a fan of platformers. I have quite a lot. I have way more platformers than any other genre of video game, and I have played probably more platformers than most people. Platformers have become quite a niche genre, so it's interesting to look in gaming communities and find like a hardcore gamer, someone who plays the mainstream games and still has a massive love for platformers like me. Generally speaking, you either find one or the other. You find someone who plays the big AAA sandbox and action games, and you find people who play like the big name games on PC, the big strategy games, or you'll find retro gamers who play mainly platformers, but they pretty much don't touch anything beyond the 16-bit era. Like if they play past the PS1, it's rare. So the big like platformer heavy crowd. They're still playing the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive. They have not moved on past the mid-90s. There are plenty of people who play these games. They're not unpopular. Like Hollow Knight has a massive, massive community. But the people who play Hollow Knight will play Hollow Knight and maybe 2 or 3 other games. They won't play every damn platformer that comes out. And I play pretty much every platformer that comes out. I love the genre. But that's probably an obvious answer. So, the other answer I could give is Magic the Gathering cards. I have, because this is something that, do you have way too many of? So, if it's a collection we're talking about, I have way too many Magic the Gathering cards. I have thousands of these things. I have boxes, like full, like boxes about this size, with rows after row after row of cards. And they date back all the way to actually no further back than that, Kamigawa set. I have a collection that spans all the way back to I think 2007. I think is how long ago my sets were coming out. I think it started in 2000. Actually, no, it must have started in the early 90s, Magic the Gathering. Like, my sets are old anyway. I was playing when I was a teenager, so we're probably talking earlier than 2007, actually, aren't we? I think we might be talking as early as 2004. So yeah, I've been collecting them for a long time. I have way, way too many. But to move on, what is something you do for fun that is not reading a book? Well, obviously, I could answer video games, or I could answer playing Magic, or I could answer role-playing games like D&D, but these are all obvious things. I've made videos about Dungeons & Dragons, I've made videos about video games, and I've just shown you the magic cards, and I've talked about magic before as well. So these are obvious things. So I'm going to say there are two things that I do for fun that isn't reading that are not talked about much on this channel, and that would be I like to swim. I'm not much of an athlete. I'm quite overweight, and my disability means that I don't get much option to exercise. But when I do, I like to swim, and I'll swim for hours. If you put me in a pool, I'll happily swim. I won't swim well. I will swim slowly and rather pathetically, but I will happily stay in that pool, swimming at a snail's pace up and down that pool for 2-3 hours comfortably. I'll be happy as can be. I would love to have a pool of my own. If I was ever rich enough to have to buy my own house, unlikely to ever happen. But if I ever was, I would have a relatively small house. I don't need much space. I'd have like a living room where I can have a big TV. I can set up a sofa somewhere I can play my video games. I'd have a nice room where I could host games, and I could have like D&D games and things like that. I could have board game nights. Have people around a big table in the middle. A couple of nice chairs around it. Somewhere comfortable to sit. Not like a dining table. Somewhere where it'd be like a low table and like sofas around it, so you can enjoy the experience. You can lie back and relax, separate from the living room. If anything, the living room will become almost a home cinema, because I do enjoy films as well. Again, something I've mentioned, I do like to go to the cinema. I used to go to the cinema all the time, to the point where I would watch somewhere in the region of about 100 different films in the cinema per year, because I'd go at least once a week, and when I did go, I would often watch 2 films at a time. So that's something I'd probably do. But if I had my own place after those 2 rooms, I'd want a small place where I could put my computer as a study, but I'd want that to be maybe like a library room where I could have all of my books, a nice comfy chair just for me, somewhere I could settle down and read, where I could have everything just ticking over, as it were, without the distraction of having the TV. I could combine a couple of these rooms. I could put the bookcases in the room with the big table, have the library and the game room be the same room. That could work. But that's the kind of thing I'd want. Beyond that, I don't need much in the way of space. Like, I could happily do that in 2 rooms, and honestly, I could do that in a really, really modest house. But I'd love to have a full-size pool, so that I could go swimming whenever I needed to. Like a decent, I don't mean like Olympic size, but a decent sized swimming pool. Not just something that you can lounge in, something that you can swim in, that takes a minute to cross. I would happily have, like, if I had my own property, enough space that half the land space was devoted to the swimming pool. I'd even maybe do it as an indoor pool, because like Britain's quite cold at times, so I could happily see it like a big indoor swimming pool as like half of the ground floor. Put bedrooms above it. That would be fine. That would suit me. So yeah, that's something I really do enjoy doing, is swimming. The other things, I said I was going to mention 2 things. One thing that I do also enjoy, though I can't do it anymore because of health, is I used to take part in HEMA, which is historical medieval. It's historical European medieval martial arts. So historical martial arts is interesting. The M actually stands for martial arts. It's historical European martial arts, but it's usually medieval martial arts. The HEMA group that you'll find almost anywhere will be focused almost primarily on mid-European arming sword, spear, longsword, up to Renaissance era swords, such as backsword, small sword, that kind of thing. It's very rare that you'll find a historical European martial arts group that is seriously teaching, say, Roman or ancient Greek techniques. So I would push that it is genuinely like martial. It is medieval martial arts. But the HEMA community is kind of fractured in places at the moment now. It's got quite strange. And I'm glad I'm not part of the drama, because I've seen a lot of drama happening in the HEMA community, and thankfully I'm too ill to take part, so I don't have to take part in the drama anymore. You can all fight amongst yourselves. I can just stand by and watch. I used to enjoy it though. I was never very good with the longsword. I was actually kind of crap with the longsword. I wasn't too bad with sword and shield, axe and shield. I did a lot of Viking stuff as well. Quarterstaff and spear I was quite good with though. I quite enjoyed that. I was never particularly well trained in it. I only did it for about 2 years before my health made it impossible to continue, but it was a lot of fun. So, question 3, because I've rabbited on quite a lot about that. 3. What is something special or important on your nightstand that is not a book? I don't own a nightstand. My bedroom has a bed in it. And nothing else. Literally nothing else. Like, I have a wardrobe that is still in flat pack that I haven't unpacked. My clothes are just kind of dotted around in piles that are folded up and in a laundry bag waiting to be washed. I should probably build the wardrobe so I actually have somewhere to put them, but I never get round to it. So my bedroom currently has a bed in it, and that's it. So nothing. There's nothing on my nightstand. And I don't think there ever would be anyway. I would put, like, a phone charger maybe, and my phone, which I currently charge in a phone charger, at the foot of my bed, because I also use it as my alarm clock, so I might put an alarm clock on it, but it's not really something special or important. Number 4, what is something that you buy at a bookstore other than books? Again, nothing. Do bookstores sell things other than books? This is news to me. I've been in a bookstore like 2 times, maybe. I don't go to bookstores. There aren't that many bookstores around here, so yeah, bookstores not really a thing for me. I order all my books online. Yeah, it's a shame actually, because I wouldn't mind being able to actually see some of the books, because the amount of times I've ordered books online and I've got the wrong edition, or I've got one that's damaged, and I then have the pain in the arse system of having to return it. That always annoys me. Number 5, what is a fun gift that you have received that was... Okay, that's been written wrong. It says, what is a fun gift that you have received that was a book or gift card for books? I'm assuming that supposedly wasn't a book or gift card for books. People don't buy me books, actually. People don't buy me books because apparently I am notoriously hard to please. I've been told that no one's quite sure what I like and what I don't like. So they won't buy me books or films or video games or any media, because apparently no one can judge whether or not I'm actually going to like it. I've been told this for years, especially when it comes to films, which was a very easy gift, like DVD or Blu-ray is a very, very easy gift for a lot of people. And I've been told that they will not buy me films because while I'm not necessarily a movie snob, I can love one film and hate another film, and no one seems to know why. I can explain it to them, but until I've explained it, no one seems to be able to predict. I think I'm quite predictable. I don't think that my likes and dislikes are that unusual or that hard to predict, but apparently I'm a difficult person to buy for. I would say the most obvious gift that brings me a lot of fun at the moment would be my TV. For Christmas, my parents bought me a big 4K TV. It's a 52-inch. It's fantastic. It's the perfect size for my room. It's the perfect size for my furniture. Literally like a half-inch either side of the feet. So it only just fits on the entertainment unit I've got. But that's okay. That's fine. That works for me. So yeah, the TV definitely is a big one for me. I've received loads and loads of other gifts. Over the years, I've received hundreds of gifts. So to name anything particular. I'm not a sentimental person, so I can't think of any clear sentimental object that would be an important gift for me. But yeah. So, number 6. What is a YouTube channel that you watch that's not related to books? Now, I can answer this one quite easily because if there is actually this would have worked well as an answer to number 1 as well. If there's one thing I have too many of that isn't books, it's subscriptions on YouTube. I am subscribed to an absurd number of channels on YouTube. I really I have no excuse for it. Like, I'm actually going to look up exactly how many channels I'm subscribed to. Let's see. Is there a list? Shut up, Discord. Subscriptions. All. Manage. Will it tell me on my phone how many I'm subscribed to? No. No, it won't. Damn it. I can't say for sure how many I'm subscribed to, but it's somewhere in the region of around 400 to 500 different channels. I have ADHD. And the thing with ADHD is we get distracted very easily. Like, neurotypical people don't understand quite how easy it is to distract someone with ADHD. And I can fall down the YouTube rabbit hole so easily. So I could find my way to a channel, I could watch 1 video, 2 videos, that becomes a 2-hour watch session where I've watched half of their content. I then subscribe to the channel, then I completely forget all about them and never see them again. That's happened so many times that it's unreal at this point. I have found channels through recommendations, watched 2 or 3 of the videos, gone, oh, I really like this channel, I should subscribe to them, and then found I'm already subscribed. So, YouTube is one of those things where I watch way too much. I get distracted too much by it. I am subscribed to way too many people. In relation to the ADHD, one channel I do recommend is How to ADHD. It is a really good channel for understanding how the neural atypical people amongst us respond to certain things and how our brains work, because we are not normal in the traditional use of that word, and it is very easy for people to not realise just how much it changes the way you react day to day. But yeah, if I was going to mention a channel in particular, though, that I think a lot of people here will enjoy, that isn't strictly related to books, I would have to go with Shadiversity. Shadiversity is the channel that got me into Booktube. Because I watched Shadiversity. He makes videos about HEMA, he makes videos about role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons, he makes videos about all kinds of stuff fantasy related. Occasionally I make a book-related video, but not often. And he wrote a book. And I was interested in his book, so I looked up a review of his book. And then I found Daniel Green, who not only reviewed the book, but also interviewed Shad from Shadiversity. So, through Shad Brooks and Daniel Green, I found Booktube. But Shadiversity, Shad Brooks' channel, is not a Booktube channel. It's just kind of tangentially connected because a couple of Booktubers have read his book and reviewed it. So yeah, that's probably the channel I would go for this. And the last question is, tag 5 Booktubers that you want to learn more about. Honestly, I have no idea who's been tagged at this point. So I'm going to say that the first 5 Booktubers who respond in the comments claiming that I've tagged you, I've now tagged you. Because I have no clue. Like, all of the channels that I watch on a regular have either already done this or have been tagged by someone who's already done this. Or are way too big of a channel for me to tag them and for them to even notice. So I wouldn't even bother to try, I don't think. It would be silly for me to assume that they'd even see the video. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. This has been fun. It's a nice way to get to know people and learn a little bit more about people outside of just the books they read. And I've enjoyed this video, so I'll see you next time. And thanks for watching. Bye.